comes to munitions modernization, most of our nation's munitions facilities are in dire need of modernization. We're still operating out of World War II era buildings that were constructed all the way back to 1941, many of which were actually designed by Mason Hanger and Dan Zimmerman. But there's essentially haven't been any new munitions manufacturing plants built since the Vietnam War era. What's interesting now is that we're getting to actually work on upgrades of those 80-year-old plus buildings that were designed by Mason Hanger. So it's really interesting to look at the drawings and you see the names of the companies, Mason Hanger and Dan Zimmerman, right there from 80 years ago. Our modernization projects, we're rethinking every step of the processes involved and working every day to try to bring innovative solutions to those types of challenges when it comes to upgrading the infrastructure and thinking of the processes and what needs to be done to improve on safety and environmental controls and upgrades to processes and all kinds of design challenges such as those. When it comes to the demand for updated munitions, obviously we're living in a very unstable global environment right now. Our country really needs to be aware of and ready for the changes that are going to be necessary. So when it comes to being flexible in terms of what types of munitions our government and our allies need, our facilities need to be able to respond to that. So we're trying to build in flexibility and scalability so that our facilities can be resilient and be able to meet the needs as the demands change. Well, Mason & Hanger has a long history of working with explosives and munitions, really going back to 1827 when the company was founded and got their start constructing railroads across the country. That moved into the design and construction of tunnels, including the Lincoln Tunnel and many other aqueducts and dams, and all requiring the use and handling of explosives in a safe manner. That went into our support of the government in World War I when the Old Hickory powder plant was designed by Mason & Hanger to support the war effort. And then moving into World War II, Mason & Hanger was involved in the design and construction of several ordnance plants, munitions factories, and then even after that into the Cold War, involved in nuclear weapons testing and explosives assembly. And a lot of that work was done in buildings that Mason & Hanger designed in the 40s and the 50s. Trying to bring innovative solutions to challenges such as how do you make an explosives handling facility as safe as possible for the people who run it, for those processes where operating personnel can be removed from a hazardous environment, how can those processes be automated? How can we ensure that hazardous materials never contaminate the air or the soil? How can we build in resiliency to these facilities so they can be flexible and scalable? And how can we reduce the cost of operations?